So good morning students. So in this lecture we are going to learn about the unit number 3, that is regarding the greedy and dynamic programming algorithmic strategies. So these are the contents of my presentation. So in this unit we are going to learn about the greedy strategy, then what is the principle of greedy strategy, what are the control abstraction of the greedy strategy, then the time analysis of the control abstraction of the greedy strategy that we are going to learn. Then as the example of the greedy strategy, we are going to learn the knapsack problem, then scheduling algorithms, that is the job scheduling we are going to learn. So basically what is meant by job scheduling, how the different jobs can be scheduled by using the greedy strategy, that we are going to learn. Then activity selection problem will be there by using the greedy strategy. So what is the basic difference between the greedy strategy and the dynamic programming? So greedy strategy, it selects the locally optimal solution, whereas the dynamic programming selects the globally optimal solution. So basically greedy strategy selects the solution from the which is the best locally available, and whereas dynamic programming considers the global optimal solution. Then second point is it does not give an optimal solution, whereas dynamic programming always guarantees the optimal solution. So greedy strategy may or may not give the optimal solution because it selects the locally optimal solution. Then next point is it does not reuse the solution to sub problems, whereas in case of the dynamic programming it reuses the solutions to overlapping sub problem, because greedy strategy does not reuse the solution of the sub problem. It solves the separate sub problem separately, so that's why it is not reusing the solution of the sub problem. The next point is backtracking is totally absent in case of the greedy strategy. Then dynamic programming involves the backtracking. Then typically it is simpler and faster to implement, whereas dynamic programming may be more complex and slow to implement because of the it reuses the solution of the overlapping subproblem and it saves the solution in the table. So that's why dynamic programming is very slower and very complex to implement. Then next point is it is suitable for the problems where the locally optimal solution leads to global optimal solution, whereas in case of the dynamic programming, that is very much suitable for problems with overlapping subproblem and the optimal substructure. Then examples of the greedy strategies are the minimum spanning tree, then shortest path algorithm, whereas in case of the dynamic programming the examples are by Fibonacci sequence and the longest common subsequence problem. So this is the basic difference between the greedy strategy and the dynamic programming. Thank you.